Well, let's see here. A, B, C, oh yeah, D, A, B, C, D, uh, H, I, E, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. That's right, J. Oh, K. L, M, N, darn, don't have an N. And if we went all the way down to X, I wouldn't have an X either. We're just practicing my ABCs. You know, after all the turkey and Thanksgiving, all the holidays and Black Friday sales and all that kind of stuff, you know, and watching some movies and whatnot, you know, I said, you know, maybe I need to really do some education. So I thought maybe I ought to do some ABCs and some revolvers. So howdy, Redesert Boy here. So what have I got going on here today? Well, we looked at some of these recently, but I just wanted to kind of revisit it for a minute and talk a minute about, you know, the advantages of maybe these different ones and some of the specs on them. This is the Colt Detective Special Model D. Okay, we can see it's empty, but it's really got a 2-inch barrel. It's about 21 ounces, right? So it's about 6 3/4 inches overall, right? And so it's made of steel, so it's a little heavier, and it's got 6 rounds, right? That's kind of nice, right? And I like the way, as I mentioned before, how this has a little notch down here. This was a Force series, about 1994. Nice for a certain amount of concealability for a lot of people. Now this one's nice and light. We can see it's a 5-shot, right? We'll make sure there's no rounds in it. We can see it's a 5-shot. It has fixed sights just like the Colt. It's got a shorter barrel. I think it's something like 1.88 inches or something, but it's only 14.6 ounces. This happens to be an enhanced action one that's also got the extended grip on here and a wood one at that. So it's kind of nice. It's light. And once again, you know, very handy for somewhat of concealability, right? So that's one of the nice things about it. It's about 6.31 inches overall, right? It's a little bit shorter than the Colt, right? I get them up here next to each other. We can kind of see pretty close, you know. But this one's definitely a lot heavier, and it's all steel. 6 rounds. 6 rounds. 5 rounds. Once again, I just recently did one on the K, right? We'll once again show that it's unloaded. It is 6 rounds. Oh, and one of the other things, this is 38 special. There are some, if you need to check with Colt, but there are some of these that may be plus P rated, but I only shoot 38 special in this one. This one is only 38 special, okay? I'd have to check with Smith & Wesson if it'll do plus Ps. This one is 38 special plus P and 38 special rated. So all 3 of those guns can shoot 38 special. So the nice thing, the ammunition's interchangeable behind them, between them, at least at that level. And what do we got here? The L frame. Now there's also L frames that have fixed sights like the Model 10 and the Model 581. But this one here is also empty, as we've shown, and 7 rounds. That's why it's called a 686 Plus. This is a 3-inch. How does it compare to this one in weight? Okay, this one over here is 36 ounces. This one over here is supposed to be 35.8. This one, of course, has a 4-inch barrel on it. Both have adjustable sights. This has the red ramp on it. This does not. And this is a 3-inch barrel on this one. So overall lengths on them, I think this one's about 8.18, and I think the K-frame is 8.9. So, you know, what's the nice thing about this? 357, 38, 38 plus P does all that stuff, right? So this one can be concealable. Just realize you're carrying 36, almost 36 ounces round. What's the advantage? 7 rounds, 357 power, right? What's the advantage with this one? Well, it's got a 4-inch barrel on it for 38, so that's going to make it more than likely a little more accurate and give it a little more velocity. And it's just nice size. Can you conceal it? Probably, maybe at the shoulder holsters. If you wanted to do that, you could do any of these if you get the right ones. I know Galco makes a product which I haven't used with these, although I have one. I've only used the 2-inch one. Most of them have different kinds of outside the waistband holsters, but this one here is probably, maybe you could find it inside the waistband holders for it, because they're still Model 19s and so forth made. So you can get them either way. So what about, reloading them? Well, today I got a Zeta 6 head, and I kind of wanted to talk about those for a minute, because they make some speed loaders that are, it's more like a speed strip. It just kind of fits in there, and then you just kind of peel it back and it loads it for you. But one of the things that I kind of wanted to show you was that let me just take a moment here to prepare this, and I'll show you something about the D frames and the K frames with theirs. By the way, this particular is called a J clip that Zeta 6 makes. They also make a K clip. Now the K clip is interesting because, and these are snap caps, by the way. So it fits in a D frame, right? And then you would peel it back and you would load it, right? Interesting thing about the K clip, right, is the K clip also, if we're loading the D-frame Colt Detective Special, it also fits it. I just wanted to show you that because I thought that was kind of handy to know. If you might have a full-size one like this with this K-frame, or this, or you had a K-frame and a D-frame or something like that, I thought it might be interesting for you to know that. I'll show you one other thing. So once again, Zeta 6 also makes, this is called a K-pack. This is made to tactically load like 3 rounds at a time, usually. So say you fired 3 rounds, right? Remember, these are snap caps, and you need to top off, right? Maybe when you pull these 3 rounds out and you still got 3 in there, you can top it off, right? Same thing. It's the Colt Detective Special, right? You got it. Maybe you got, you push it out, dump those 3 rounds. If I don't drop it on the floor here. And once again, you can put your 3 rounds in there to top off your load. Probably leave that in there because it's just been that kind of day. But anyway, I wanted to show you that those K-packs would fit the D model Colts and the K-frame Smith & Wessons. Now, what about the old this guy here? I'm not going to put these in here because they're live rounds, but it has a standard speed loader. This happens to be a 587 HKS, right? This time, a Zeta 6 does not make them for the L frames, but they do make them for the J and the K frames. And by the way, these K-clip ones also fit, if you look at their website, a variety of other ones, I believe, like Kimber K6. I think some of the Model 200s and so forth of the Armory, what is it, RIA, I can't think of it right now for some reason. I'm having a brain problem there. But anyway, it fits a number of other ones there if you look on their list. So does it also do, traditional, can you use traditional speed loaders? in these, yes, and speed strips. But I just thought you might want to know that. I personally like the way the K clips and the J clips work. They're pretty handy. They don't rattle or any of that kind of stuff. I don't have to worry about usually the rounds falling out of them if they get twisted or something. So anyway, ABCs and maybe a Z, right, of a different sort. With the ABCs being Model D, Colt, Model J, Smith & Wesson. Of course, there's all varieties of that. Model K, Smith & Wesson, and Model L, Smith & Wesson. So maybe someday I'll be able to add the N and the X. We'll see. And I believe Colt actually had a Model J. That might be what the Trooper was, but I don't know. Maybe those of you that are Colt fans can comment on that. I like Colts. I've been trying to get a Trooper. I just haven't found one for me yet. Anyway, as Desert Boy always says, be safe out there, whatever you're doing. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye now.